We've spoken about my business in the past.
Yes.
I'm an online retailer, and all our goods are dispatched.
You used to have shops, did you, when you moved online, or am I getting you mixed up with someone else?
No, I've always been online.
Yeah, go on.
It's sports equipment.
That's right. Yes,
and it's big, heavy stuff, so it's not really suitable for people to come and take away from a shop.
No.
So everything is dispatched from our warehouse in Germany. Direct to the customers in the UK.
Right, and that involves no duty, no excise, no VAT, no money back, no
delivering
guarantee.
from Germany to the UK is exactly the same as delivering within the UK. In fact, in a lot of cases, it's better because the delivery services are better.
Yes.
And I've spent the last 3.5 years in a state of limbo.
What do you? I mean, how do you process this? I mean this in a very honest way, because you know as well as I do, Mike, that lots and lots of people who reacted to the opportunity to leave the European Union differently from you and I are good and decent people. They're our friends and our family. But as you heard this conversation continue over the last 3.5 years, and you with your simple knowledge, and I mean that as a description of how easy it is to get your head around rather than the simplicity of the knowledge, you just saw this. I mean, either X happens or Y happens, and the closer we've come to this cliff edge, the clearer it's become that people are still under the illusion that it's not a cliff edge at all. How do you personally process the threat to your livelihood?
With great difficulty, to be honest, because the problem is most people around you tend to say, "Oh well, I'm sure it'll be fine. They'll work something out. It'll be all right."
Yes.
But I understand the actual real ramifications of it, and if it isn't sorted, then I have no business.
And it's not. I mean, it breaks my heart to say this, but looking at Michael Gove's words yesterday, it's not going to be sorted.
Yeah, and I every time there's been, every time we've been about to leave and then it's been put off, I've just been forced to assume, carry on business as usual until we know otherwise.
Yes.
And effectively, it's the same at the moment. You get letters through from the government saying, we have now left the EU.
Yeah.
Things might change, but we can't tell you how.
Yes, well, that was as recently as, the adverts are still in play, aren't they? They're still in place. Yeah. I saw one on Sunday in the newspapers. I've heard them on the radio. And the idea that people voted for certainty in December is already looking fairly comical.
The thing is, you can't plan, because you can't plan for what you're going to do, because they can't actually tell you what the situation's going to be. So you can't. If I was to modify my business to be compatible with being outside the EU, well, basically I couldn't do it because it would cost too much and be too difficult logistically.
Yes.
But I still don't know whether I'm going to have to start looking for another business or whether I can carry on. Well, it's looking increasingly like I'm not going to be able to carry on.
I can't. Unless Gove does another U-turn, I can't quite see how. Don't forget, in 2016, I think it was April, he said we would have full access to the European market but be freed from EU regulation. You look at that now and it's a bit like saying, every time I clap my hands, a fairy dies. It's so obviously bonkers. But even I at the time didn't realise how ridiculous a belief or suggestion that was. If I was you, I would be looking for an escape route.
I think, it's getting to the point where I really feel like you're right now. What I don't understand is why they keep doing all this, and what are the benefits? What are they actually trying to achieve?
Don't go there, mate. Seriously, that's so 2019. You're asking for tangible benefits? Never mind the benefits. Feel the deportation.
We're all on the same side now, aren't we?
We're all pulling together. Stop talking the country down by explaining how your company. How long have you had the company?
In its current form, ironically, since just around the time that we decided to leave.
Yes.
I used to have a warehouse in this country, and for various reasons, it wasn't feasible to carry on running the business like that.
I know. I remember you telling me, actually. You had a period of. You've bounced back, haven't you, from a setback commercially? And now the government, the Conservative government, the party of business and trade, is essentially pulling the rug from beneath your young company, your young and successful company.
Yeah,